was an old man who fished alone in a skiff in the Gulf Stream, and he had gone 84 days now without taking a fish. In the first 40 days, a boy had been with him. But after 40 days without a fish, the boy's parents had told him that the old man was now definitely and finally Salau, which is the worst form of unlucky. And the boy had gone at their orders in another boat, which caught 3 good fish the first week. It made the boy sad to see the old man come in each week with his skiff empty, and he always went down to help him carry either the coiled lines or the gaff or the harpoon or the sail that was furled around the mast. The sail was patched with flour sacks, and furled, it looked like the flag of permanent defeat. The old man was thin, gaunt, with deep wrinkles in the back of his neck. The brown blotches of the benevolent skin cancer the sun brings from its reflection on the tropic sea were on his cheeks. The blotches ran well down the sides of his face, and his hands had the deep creased scars from handling heavy fish on the cords. But none of these scars were fresh. They were as old as erosions in a fishless desert. Everything about him was old except his eyes, and they were the same color as the sea, and they were cheerful and undefeated.
Santiago,
the boy said to him as they climbed off the bank from where the skiff was hauled up.
I could go with you again. We've made some money.
The old man had taught the boy how to fish, and the boy loved him. No, the old man said, you're with a lucky boat. Stay with them.
But remember how you went 87 days without fish, and then we caught big ones every day for 3 weeks.
I remember, the old man said. I know you didn't leave me because you doubted.
No, it was Papa made me leave. I'm a boy and I must obey him.
I know, the old man said. It is quite normal.
He hasn't much faith.
No, the old man said. But we have, haven't we?
Yes. Can I offer you a beer on the terrace? And then we'll take the stuff home.
Why not? The old man said. Between fishermen.
Between fishermen.
They sat on the terrace. Many of the fishermen made fun of the old man.
You suck!
And the old man was not angry. Others of the older fishermen looked at him and were sad, but they did not show it, and they spoke politely about the current and the depths as they drifted their lines and the steady good weather and of what they had seen. The successful fishermen of that day were already in and had butchered their marlin out and carried them full length across 2 planks, with 2 men staggering at each end of the plank to the fish house where they waited for an ice truck to carry themselves into the market in the Havana. Those who had caught the sharks had taken them to the shark factory on the other side of the town and on the other side of the cove, and they were hoisted onto a block and tackled, their livers removed, their fins cut off, and their hides skinned out of flesh cut into strips for salting. When the wind was in the east and the smell came across the harbor from the shark factory. But today, there was only the faint edge of the odor because the wind had backed into the north and then dropped off was a pleasant sunny on the terrace.
Santiago?
The boy said. Yes, the old man said. He was holding his glass and thinking of many years ago.
Can I go out and get sardines for you tomorrow?
No, go and play baseball. I can still row, and Rogelio will throw the net.
I would like to go. If I cannot fish with you, I would like to serve in some way.
You bought me a beer, the old man said. You are already a man.
How old was I when you first took me into a boat?
5, and you were nearly killed when I brought the fish in too green and he tore the boat to pieces. Can you remember?
Flashbacks, people. I can remember the tail slapping and banging and the thwart breaking and the noise of the clubbing. I can remember you throwing me into the bow where the wet coiled lines were and feeling the whole boat shiver and the noise of you clubbing him like chopping a tree down and the blood smell all over me.
Can you really remember that, or did I just tell it to you?
I remember everything from when we first went together.
The old man looked at him with his sunburned, confident, loving eyes. If you were my boy, I'd take you out and gamble. But you are your father and mother's, and you are in a lucky boat.
May I get the sardines? I know what I can get for bait too.
I have mine left from today. I put them in salt in the box.
Let me get 4 fresh ones.
1. the old man said. His hope and his confidence had never gone, but now they were freshening as the breeze rises.
2.
The boy said. 2, the old man agreed. You didn't steal them?
I would. But
The boy said.
But Santiago, I bought these.
Thank you, the old man said. He was too simple to wonder when he had attained humility, but he knew that he had attained it, and he knew that this was not disgraceful, and it was carried to no loss of true pride. Tomorrow is going to be a good day with this current, he said.
Where are you going?
The boy said. Far out, to come in when the wind shifts. I want to be out before it is light.
I'll try to get him to work far out.
No.
Then, if you hook something truly big, we can come to your aid.
He does not like to work too far out.
No.
The boy said.
But I will see something that he cannot see, such as a bird working, and get him to come out after Dolphin.
Are his eyes that bad?
He's almost blind.
It is strange, the old man said. He never went turtling. That is what kills the eyes.
But you went turtling for years off the Mosquito Coast, and your eyes are perfectly fine.
I am a strange old man.
But you are strong enough now for a truly big fish.
I think so, and there are many tricks,
Let us take the stuff home,
the boy said.
so I can get the cast net and go after the sardine. Okay, start.
They picked up the gear from the boat. The old man carried the mast on his shoulder, and the boy carried the wooden box with the coiled, hard, braided brown lines, the gaff and the harpoon with its shaft. The box with the baits was under the stern of the skiff, along with the club that was used to subdue the big fish when they were brought alongside. No one would steal them from the old man, but it was better to take the sail and the heavy lines home, as Drew was bad for them, and though he was quite sure no local people would steal from him, the old man thought that a gaff and a harpoon were needless temptations to leave in a boat. They walked up the road together to the old man's shack, and went in through its open door. The old man leaned the mast against the raft sail against the wall and put the boy and the box on and the other gear beside it. The mast was nearly as long as the one room of the shack. The shack was made of tough bud shields of the royal palm, which are now called guano, and in it was a bed, a table, a chair, and a place on the dirt floor to cook with charcoal. On the brown walls of the flat and overlapping leaves, the sturdy fibered guano, there was a picture in color of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and another of the Virgin of Coburg. These were relics of his wife. Once there had been a tinted photograph of his wife on the wall, but he had taken it down because it made him too lonely to see it, and it was on the shelf in the corner under his clean shirt.
What do you have to eat?
The boy asked. A pot of yellow rice with fish. Do you want some?
No, I will eat at home. Do you want me to make the fire?
No, I will make it later on. Or I may eat the rice cold.
May I take the cast net?
There was no cast net, and the boy remembered when they had sold it. But they went through this fiction every day. There was no pot of yellow rice and fish, and the boy knew this too. 85 is a lucky number, the old man said. How would you like to see me bring in one that is dressed out over 1,000 pounds?
I'll get the cast net and go for sardines. Will you sit in the sun in the doorway?
Yes, I have yesterday's paper, and I will read the baseball. The boy did not know whether yesterday's paper was a fiction too, but the old man brought it out from under the bed. Pierco gave this to me at the bodega, he explained.
I'll be back when I have the sardines. I'll keep yours and mine together on ice, and we can share them in the morning. When I come back, you can tell me about the baseball.
The Yankees cannot lose.
But I fear the Indians of Cleveland.
Have faith in the Yankees, my son. Think of the great DiMaggio.
I fear both the Tigers of Detroit and Indians of Cleveland.
Be careful, you will fear even the Reds of Cincinnati and the White Sox of Chicago.
You study it and tell me when I come back.
Do you think we should buy a terminal of the lottery with an 85? Tomorrow's the 85th day.
We can do that. But what about the 87 of your great record?
It could not happen twice. Do you think we can find an 85?
I can order one.
One sheet. That's $2.50. Who can we borrow that from?
Oh, that's easy. I can always borrow $2.50.
I think perhaps I can too, but I try not to borrow. First you borrow, then you beg.
Keep warm, old man. Remember, we are in September.
The month when the great fish comes. The old man said, anyone can be a fisherman in May.
I go now for the sardines.
The boy said. When the boy came back, the old man was asleep in the chair and the sun was down. The boy took the old army blanket off the bed and spread it over the back of the chair and over the old man's shoulders. They were strange shoulders, still powerful although very old, and the neck was still strong too, and the creases did not show as much when the old man was asleep, and his head had fallen forward. His shirt had been patched so many times that it was like the sail, and the patches were faded too many different shades by the sun. The old man's head was very old, though his eyes closed there, and there was no life in his face. The newspaper lay across his knees, and the weight of his arm held it there in the evening breeze. He was barefooted. The boy left him there, and when he came back, the old man was still asleep.
Wake up, old man.
What have you got? He asked.
Supper,
Said the boy.
We're going to have supper.
I'm not very hungry.
Come on and eat. You can't fish and not eat.
I have, the old man said, getting up and taking the newspaper and folding it. Then he started to fold the blankets.
Keep the blanket around you.
The boy said.
You'll not fish without eating while I'm alive.
Then live a long time and take care of yourself, the old man said. What are we eating?
Black beans and rice, fried bananas, and some delicious and tasty stew.
The boy had brought them into the two-decker metal container from the terrace. 2 sets of knives and forks and spoons were in his pocket with a paper napkin wrapped around each set. Who gave this to you?
Martin, the owner.
I must thank him,
Oh, don't worry. I thanked him already.
the boy said.
You don't need to thank him.
I'll give him the belly meat of a big fish, the old man said. He has done this for us more than once?
I think so.
I must give him something more than the belly meat then. He is very thoughtful for us.
He sent 2 beers.
I like the beer in cans best.
I know. But this is in bottles. Hot tea beer. And I take back the bottles.
That's very kind of you, the old man said. Should we eat?
I've been asking you to.
The boy told him gently.
I have not wished to open the container until you are ready.
I'm ready now, the old man said, and I only needed time to wash.
Where did you wash?
The boy thought.
The village water supply was 2 streets down the road. I must have water him for him.
The boy thought.
And soap and good towel. Why am I so thoughtless? I must get him another shirt and a jacket for the winter, and some sort of shoes and another blanket.
Your stew is excellent, the old man said.
Tell me about the baseball.
The boy asked him. In the American League, it is the Yankees, as I said. The old man said happily.
They lost today.
The boy told him. That means nothing. The great DiMaggio was himself again.
They have other men on the team.
Naturally, but he makes a difference. In the other league, between Brooklyn and Philadelphia, I must take Brooklyn. But then I think of Dick Stutzler and those great drives in the old park.
There was nothing ever like them. He hits the longest ball I have ever seen.
Do you remember when he used to come to the terrace? I wanted to take him fishing, but I was too timid to ask him. Then I asked you to ask him, and you were too timid.
I know. It was a great mistake. He might have gone with us. Then we would have that for all of our lives.
I would like to take the great DiMaggio fishing, the old man said. They say his father was a fisherman. Maybe he was as poor as we are and would understand.
The great Sizzler's father was never poor, and he, the father, was playing in the big leagues when he was my age.
When I was your age, I was before the mast on a square-rigged ship that ran to Africa, and I have seen lions on the beaches in the evening.
I know. You told me.
Should we talk about Africa or baseball?
Baseball, I think.
The boy said.
Tell me about the great John J. McGraw.
He said Joda for Jay. He used to come to the terrace sometimes, too, in the older days. But he was rough and harsh-spoken and difficult when he was drinking. His mind was on horses as well as baseball. At least he carried lists of horses at all times in his pocket and frequently spoke of the names of horses on the telephone.
He was a great manager.
The boy said.
My father thinks he was the greatest.
Because he came here the most times, the old man said. If DeRocher had continued to come here each year, your father would think of him as the greatest manager.
Who's the greatest manager, really? Lou Kay or Mike Gonzalez?
I think they're equal.
And the best fisherman is you.
No, I know others better,
Give up?
the boy said.
There are many good fishermen and some great ones, but there's only you.
Thank you. You make me happy. I hope no fish will ever come along so great that he will prove us wrong.
There is no such fish if you are still strong as you say.
I may not be as strong as I think, the old man said, but I know many tricks and I have resolution.
You ought to go to bed now so that you will be fresh in the morning. I will take things back to the terrace.
Good night, then. I will wake you in the morning,
You're my alarm clock.
the boy said. Age is my alarm clock, the old man said. Why do old men wake so early? Is it to have one longer day?
I don't know.
The boy said.
All I know is that young boys sleep late and hard.
I can remember it, the old man said. I'll awaken you in time.
I do not like for him to wake me. It is as though I were inferior.
I know.
Sleep well, old man.